we talked about the Jets, Jets, Jets. They're going to be hosting the Bills with that big, fat bias plus score of 30.9 favoring the Bills. Now, after last week, big biases still have a bit of a scariness to them. What do you think?
Big biases aside, the Jets don't scare me at all. Yeah, the Jags won a game. Yeah, the Jets beat somebody. Everything comes back to normal next week. Buffalo blows them out. This one's not even going to be a contest. In fact, well, let me point this out now, because I said something earlier that I was going to point out about teams getting blueprints on certain high-flying offenses. So teams have figured out how to slow down the Chiefs. Number one, you got to get after Mahomes. At this point, all that nimbleness and off-platform throw stuff, those words have now been changed to skittishness in the pocket, getting out of the pocket too early, not getting to second and third reads, okay? And what's happening is teams are starting to play him with a cover two. So they go cover two. I mentioned this last week in reference to the Chiefs. You go cover two, you keep Tyreek Hill from catching bombs on you. You let Kelsey catch the ball and you tackle him. And if they don't have a run game to keep things even, which the Chiefs basically don't, they're going to be in trouble. Well, the same thing kind of happened to Buffalo last week. Jacksonville came out in a cover two. He couldn't find Josh Allen couldn't find Diggs deep, couldn't find Emmanuel Sanders deep. He lived off of Beasley all day. Then Zach Moss is starting running back, got a concussion. Singletary came in, he did okay, but without being able to hit their normal stuff, they couldn't find the end zone. Jacksonville kicks 3 field goals and beats them. So some adjustments are going to have to be made. The Chiefs haven't made them yet. I expect Buffalo to come out and look completely different next week and crush the Jets.
Going with the bias, Buffalo Bills. The
Yipper.
Bills. Detroit Lions at Pittsburgh Steelers. Bias plus score 13.3 favors the Steelers. I remind people that the bias is the utilization of the net point differential and the turnover differential to calculate that score. All right, who you got?
I have to go with the Steelers on this. They'll be home again. So the only thing that could be better for them playing against the Lions and being at home would be if they got the same referee crew that they had.
You're going there, are you?
It was egregious, bro. It was egregious. Did you see the taunting call?
Yeah.
Okay. Did you see that ref bump the player?
Yeah, I saw it.
And then when he was asked about it, the ref was asked about it, and he said, "I didn't bump him." Come on, man. Come on, man. They were killing Justin Fields. He got crushed a couple times. No roughing the passer penalties. D lineman for the Steelers, clearly offsides. No call. The guy even slowed down because he knew he was offsides. Ref never blew the whistle, so they kept going. Crazy. The refs.
The guy bumped into Fields. Fields sprawls out on the ground, and they call him for roughing. And it's like he barely touched him, you know. So
no, he killed him. Are you kidding me?
Who, Fields? Killed Fields?
He destroyed Fields.
No, I saw one time the guy pulled up and Fields fell down, man, and they were like throwing flags.
Okay, that doesn't make up for him getting his body blown up and the ref not even looking. And it's a shame. It's a shame because that was probably Fields' best game of the season. He threw for 291. He scored a touchdown. They turned him loose on the ground again. The dummy head coach finally realized he can run. He got 45 yards on 8 carries. He got splattered.
That was his coming out party, actually.
Yeah, well, he got splattered more than once with no cause.
With no call. No,
It was
okay.
egregious. And they only lost by 2.
That was the thing. There's a meme, and I don't know if I put it on our page. We'll see real quick. But it's like 3 shades of Ben's face. It's like Ben's face in the beginning when they were winning, and then Ben's face like when he looked up and they were losing. And it was like, uh-oh, where'd this come from? So in any event, bias plus score 13.3 favors Pittsburgh Steelers. You're going with the Steelers, am I
I'm
correct?
going with the Steelers, but I tell you this, if the Lions can just do something on defense, Ben's arm is shot, bro. He can't throw a ball more than 20 yards without it fluttering through the air like a duck. They got to get on him. They got to tighten up underneath and don't leave. I'm not saying leave him long balls to throw, but I mean, to me, this screams Lions load the box, blitz, play man to man. Now, I don't know if they have the personnel to do it, but that's what I would do.
Part of the Lions' problem early on, I know one of their top D-backs went down even in the as far back as the Niners game. They've had some devastating injuries on their secondary. So that question that you have is legit in terms of I don't know who they have back there now. And it's funny. I've heard different opinions on Roethlisberger's arm. And I kind of understand what people are saying, but I think he's still got enough arm to spread the field around a little bit. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. In any event, you're going with the Steelers?
Yes, sir.
Next up, TB, Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Washington football team. Your used to be vaunted Washington football team defense, however, bias plus score of 19.5 favors the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Ben, your boy OBJ, they asked Arian about OBJ. You hear what he said?
Yeah. Too many letters.
Too many letters.
I already got an AB. What do I need with an OBJ?
I don't need an OBJ and an AB. Too many letters.
Now that's actually coded language. It was very clever of him. Okay. But basically what he was saying is, I already got one character and I got him on a leash. I don't have another leash for another character.
Yeah, this isn't somebody that's necessarily under Tom Brady's control. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now this is the other thing, and it's very interesting because I watched a lot of the media talk about OBJ, and I love the term he cleared waivers. And it's like if you really don't know what waivers is about, then you might have missed the point that all the teams had an option to claim him, but they would have had to have picked up his $7 million salary.
Right.
So no team did. That means no team valued him at $7 million or above. You now become a free agent, and now it's going to be interesting. The who was it? Somebody's already offered him the minimum salary. So
is it a contender?
Huh?
Is it a contending team?
Oh my God! It's a shame that I'm having a hard time thinking about who that team is. But it will come to me. But yeah, he's been offered a salary. It kind of reminds me of Cam Newton, where you have like a great player, but somehow their whole marketing thing now is just out of whack, and they're at the mercy of the marketplace now, and they're being turned definitely into a commodity. So it's going to be interesting. Obviously, nobody wanted to pay him $7 million, so he's going to get something less than that being offered. So it'll be interesting to see how that works.
It was the Packers.
It was the Packers, right? Okay.
Packers.
Thank you.
But he did say he wanted to go to a contender with a good quarterback. So there you have it. If he turns that down, and shops himself anymore, he might find himself out of football for a minute. I'd jump on that, take that minimum if I was him.
All right.
And he could probably help them.
Hey, I still a way above average receiver, I'm thinking. Okay. We shall see. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Washington. You going with the
Bucks.
Going with the bias. All righty. Here we go. Next up. Carolina Panthers at Arizona Cardinals. Bias plus score 16.4 favors the Arizona Cardinals. So here you got the second ranked net point team playing the 22nd ranked net point team. Ergo favors the Cardinals. There you go. Run with it.
Okay, Cardinals are home.
Darnold is out.
Darnold is out. Oh, Darnold's been benched or he's out?
He's got a broken scapula.
Okay, he's done. That doesn't help them any though. Oh, that's why they signed they signed a quarterback off of somebody's practice squad, a veteran backup guy.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll probably end up starting because they're not going to go with PJ.
PJ's not the answer.
Yeah, PJ's nowhere near close to the answer. But it won't matter because Kyler Murray may be back. And even if he isn't, Colt McCoy proved that he can handle the reins, especially if they continue to run the ball the way that they have. The number one back, Edmonds, was actually out. And old James Conner, that used to be with the Pittsburgh Steelers and hasn't had much yardage to speak of during the season, but continued to score touchdowns week after week, finally got his hands on the number one spot, and he ran with it. He did great last week.
Tore my Niners a new one, didn't he?
Yeah, you guys are in trouble too. I can't wait till we get to your team, man.
Oh, man.
You cats is hurting, bro.
Tell me about it.
Your boys is hurting bad.
And the funny thing about James Conner, back to him real quick, is we were calling him the power back. Like you said, didn't have a lot of yardage, but they was giving that ball to him down at the goal line, and he was getting in. Now, all of a sudden, he gets to play on my team, and he's running like Gale Sayers all of a sudden running through my Niners.
21 rushes, 96 yards, 2 touchdowns on the ground, 5 catches, 77 yards and another touchdown.
Oh my goodness. 3 touchdowns.
What your D is, I'm not even gonna say they're crumbling, bro. They are crumbled.
Hey, I look, I know what we're dealing with there,
Yeah, but anyway, I'm taking the Cardinals in an easy one over the Panthers, no problem.
All righty. Next up, Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings at the LA Chargers. No, I don't have that one as mine. Actually,
you didn't make that one an intriguing game.
No, I did. And considering that it's probably one of the smallest bias plus scores of the weekend, I should have. And it's probably because I've already featured Herbert in 2 intriguing games of the week blogs that I wrote. And, so I kind of just shied away from that. Minnesota is one of those teams that's putting up points, man. I mean, Minnesota is what? 17th in scoring. So they're putting up an average of 24.2 points per game. Bottom line is, as you and I was saying earlier, as far as I'm saying, 28 points is the magic number. If if your team's putting up 28 points, they're going to win most of the time. And if they do a little bit more than that, they're hitting it up. But I think this should be a good game.
Yeah, I think this one is worthy of intriguing game nomination. I would say that this one could end up being a high-scoring game, a lot of offense, not a whole lot of defense, although the Chargers' pass defense is actually pretty good, but their run defense is actually pretty bad. And when I predicted this game when they played Philadelphia last week, I said it will remain to be seen if the Eagles can put together a run game like they did against the Lions against a run weak team like the Chargers. And they were not able to do it. So, but you know, we'll get to them later. In the meantime, Justin Herbert, whether his defense is getting run on or not, if he comes out efficient like he did against the Eagles, he's going to be hard to beat. 32 of 38, 356, 2 touchdowns, and he ran one in. That's 84% passing, bro. 84%. Kirk Cousins might find himself coming from behind again. Which,
well,
again,
you know, let me chime in real quick and say I double checked my list, and there is a check beside this game, so this is on the list.
There you go. Okay, well, that's good.
Yes, yeah, man. I mean, you know, Kirk did most of what he needed to do, but he still had a few Kirk Cousins moments.
Yeah, I see 2 more games. I see 2 more games on the list that are possible contenders, but I kind of like this one. Again, how could I forget? Dalvin Cook is the main danger to the Chargers defense. Weak run defense against a guy who can churn out 100 yards on you and a touchdown or 2 almost every time. But he's got his own problems. I think we'll talk about those later. Anyway, I'm going to take the Chargers in this one.
Going with the bias.
Yes, sir.
Okay.